We recommend that you get any vaccine that you are eligible for prior to transplant. What that does is it gives your body time to mount an immune response to measles, mumps, rubella, the flu, COVID, when you can develop an immune response. There are some vaccines you cannot get after transplant because they are live vaccines. So you might want to think about getting measles, mumps, rubella because that's a live vaccine, just so you don't run the risk of getting it after transplant. We do check to see if you're immune to things like the hepatitis. A lot of people have got their hepatitis vaccines when they were kids. A lot of people get them at their dialysis units. As I said, you do need to be immune to chickenpox. We test to see if you've been exposed to tuberculosis and a bunch of other stuff. COVID vaccine, at this point, we pretty much require that you are vaccinated for COVID. It was very dark times in transplant right after COVID hit, when our post-transplant patients were passing away from COVID. Because at that time there weren't any treatments and there weren't any vaccines. We still do have people post-transplant pass away from COVID because their immune response is muted because of the immunosuppressants. So we encourage you to get vaccinated for COVID ahead of transplant so that you don't, and everybody's like, well, you know, the numbers aren't as high, but the numbers are there, and it's kind of like playing Russian roulette. Want to be the one that risks getting COVID by not staying up to date on your vaccinations. Ideally, if you have a living donor, we want them to be immunized to COVID as well. So we will schedule the majority of your appointments. You, as I've said before, you are encouraged to you need to have a reliable working phone and backup numbers. And we want you to check your voicemail because it'll be things like the schedulers calling to schedule an appointment. And if you don't